Hi, team. This is George. I want to say welcome to week 3. I appreciate all the effort that you've put into class on weeks 1 and 2. Now, everyone here is an adult learner. I know what it takes to be an adult learner because it's not easy. It's not the only thing that we have going on in our lives. So I appreciate the effort that it takes to do this. And the reason why is because in our discussions and in what you've been turning in, the conversations have been going deeper. It just hasn't been that cursory level on, because it could be very easy just have a cursory level discussion on culture. Could be very easy to not dig deep and not really understand what's going on. But what I see us doing is taking uh, the data, the information from our text, and putting it to use, comparing it with what we currently know. And that's how we grow, because we take in new information and we put it through our filter. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Let me put this out there. Let me talk about this. So I appreciate all the effort that it takes to grow, and you're putting it in, and you're doing an amazing job with it. So thank you for that. And let's jump into week 3. Well, let's start with overview week 2 discussion. Sorry. Culture. We talked about culture during our conversation, so I appreciate there were many different perspectives that we had and different stories. Sharing your story is just an amazing way for the rest of us to learn. And when we all share our stories, something amazing happens as our own personal perspectives grow. And it's uh, just a great thing when our personal perspectives to grow and we start to gain greater respect for one another, and that's what is needed when, especially in the conversations of culture. We all just need to have greater understanding and celebrate each other's cultures. Now, in terms of culture for our conversation, it's the lens that we see our world through. And what's interesting is our brains want us to think that they are incredibly intelligent and they know everything. So what it does, it fills in anything that it doesn't know. And the way it does this is does it automatically, and it uses part of our brain called the schema, which is like a network of different parts and pieces of our brain. And what it does is our schema is all of our past experiences, and all of our past experiences come through us through a cultural lens. So when our brains don't know what they don't know, guess what? They fill in the blanks with our past experiences, which has been given to us through our culture. So that's why when you see things, we can both look at the same thing and see two different purposes or two different things. It's kind of amazing how it works. So that's what schema does for our brains. And I just appreciate our conversations, the way they went deeper, and we looked at why a lot of these things happen, and each other's different stories, like I talked about before. And in our week 3 discussion, we're going to talk about morality. Now, this kind of builds off of our culture, because uh, what happens is we have a culture and then we have a morality within that culture. And now, for us as a society, we can kind of look back, and we have scripture and we have the Bible that we can kind of come to a point where we can all not necessarily agree, but where we can all have the same materials coming to us, the same information there, which is fantastic. So we're going to tie back into Lionel Tate's life, and the things that may have contributed to his violence. We're going to start discussing that, because it was violent. He's 12 years old, and it's going to be a good idea, or not a good idea. It's going to be some good conversations on key factors that can cause this, and are they? So I just look forward to us getting together and having those discussions this week. Assignments. Reflection paper is due this Monday, and remember, the reflection paper is from the perspective of one of the 3 people. It could be the defense lawyer, the prosecution, or Tate's mother. You can go from any of those perspectives, and remember, right from that perspective, not just an overview of what happened, perspective from that person, because they all have that different story. Because remember, we talked about before, perspective, nobody is in the same space at the same time, so we all have a different perspective. Case study analysis is due Monday of week 4. I'm going to give a quick video explanation of that probably on Tuesday. And then our live session I'm looking at having a live session on Thursday, May 25th. It's not mandatory in any way. It's a great way to dive deeper into our content and get to know each other. It's never going to be a lecture. It's always interactive. So I may ask a question, other folks may ask questions. We're going to have different perspectives coming in on what should be happening within class and our different assignments. So it's if you can make it, great. If you can't, that's fine too, because some people simply don't like live sessions, and that's okay. They like being online asynchronous, and that's where they want to be, and that's perfectly acceptable. Uh, so there's no points for this or points taken away if you don't show up. So Thursday, May 25th. But what I need is vote for the time you can come. So let me know if you can come or can't come or simply don't want to come. That's okay too. Just let me know so I can schedule classes or not schedule classes, because if I'm available, nobody else is. It just won't work out sometimes, and that's okay. So just let me know by voting for the time when you can be there. And if there's enough interest, we'll put it on. It'll be Thursday, May 25th. I think there's a choice between two times, and we'll put on the session. So have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the discussion boards.